Ember looks. I mean, we saw that from Sumail versus Fada, and he thrives off that matchup. Even though I actually don't think it's that. I think Alchemist actually does relatively decent.
Was that the best performance of the tournament so far?
Like single-handed, like first 20 minutes. I mean, he was pretty dominant.
I was from that.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then like Arteezy kind of carried.
5 seconds remaining.
Carried the hardest, I guess.
Yeah.
Like
the
game yesterday. Yeah.
Can they protect it? I feel like when you have a wave always back to early game, like obviously he gets the early and the pressure, but I just look at whenever I see an Alchemist, I think how early can the collapse area. In the Ember game, it was 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Game over. They do have like some aggressive heroes on EG, but Silencer, Earthshaker, Arc Warden.
Yeah, and they don't have like this burst damage or anything to deal with him. I feel like they need that Hunter in the mid lane, that Sumail hero that's just gonna crush him and follow him around.
Fnatic's turn to pick. Evil
choice.
turn to
Earth Spirit.
Oh no, screw it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess I'm.
That's a hero to get on the face of the Arc Warden too later on.
All the heroes we.
Yeah,
10 seconds
Bloodseeker, Ember, or Monkey King. Those are the three, I think.
Honestly,
5 seconds remaining.
I guess they can leave the Enigma alone, but I don't feel like Earthshaker is only good against.
So low armor though. Do you dominate the night? I just feel Ember is good about it. No.
I think Bloodseeker or Ember look like the two better ones to me, personally. 30 seconds.
A really farm monk is always.
Oh.
That hero does dumpster Alk in the laning stage.
He really does.
But do they have enough damage to like get the Alk down to half? Like in the mid game, like Alk doesn't get obliterated. To really kill him.
It gives himself an option too versus the BKB Black Hole, right? At least. But I mean, then they're really limited on damage.
Global for them.
Oh yeah.
I was wondering, what are they gonna lane versus Enigma?
They actually can't.
Yeah, I mean they're just putting Arc Warden versus Enigma, right? Warden Silence. So I don't think the Arc Warden's gonna be that far in this game. Like maybe if they trial him for him. Maybe they go aggro actually. That's something they would do. Like block with the Earthshaker, go aggro, put the pan. But I think this, like whatever happens, this Enigma is gonna put a lot of pressure on this. And I don't think that I think Albert will be kind of fine. Like the lane will be hard, but he'll jungle. The Bane will get level 6. Be alright.
Alright, good stuff. Thank you all three of you. Time to head to our commentary team for game number 1 then. A record-breaking Arc Warden game from Arteezy yesterday. Can he repeat in the first game against Fnatic? Let's find out.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to the final series. Before we make it to the main stage, it's EG Fnatic, and I couldn't be more excited for this elimination series. Trent, faith in the Alchemist. Where are you at?
Oh, the Alchemist. Faith in the Alchemist. Why would you have faith in an Alchemist when you could have faith in the Arteezy Arc Warden? That's my question.
The record breaker.
That was definitely the big hero coming into this series. No question about it. Both teams playing it, and both teams just kind of running entire games based off of it. So not too shocking that he shows up. I loved the covering pick of the Earthshaker too, maybe preventing this idea of that PL that we've been kind of throwing around all day. It's like it's finally going to come out versus the Arc Warden. But as you said, it's the Alchemist. But it is one thing I also never like to bet against, the DJ Earth Spirit. So.
That's true. That's true. A lot of player-hero combinations that fans around the world will be excited about. Enigma, very exciting as well. We've seen him banned out a lot, but up against the Silencer. So EG might have an advantage in that matchup when it comes to Black Hole. But remember, there's a lot more to Enigma than just that big Black Hole.
That's true. And Ice struggled. Strug City in terms of itemization last time on the Enigma. I think it was awful. It just
what did he go for, Trent?
It didn't seem to fit the game at all. He went for a Blink Dagger, and they had, I mean, it wasn't just his fault, of course. I'm putting way too much blame on him, but they had like 4 Blink Daggers on their team. It really felt like they just needed some auras and needed to kind of group up and start ending rather than trying to make these big plays with 4 blinks. It was just pointless. So in a game versus the Silencer, once again, I really think that Blink Dagger loses a ton of value. Hoping to see more of a Greaves type build coming up, and I'm sure we will.
See a couple of right clicks exchanged here as Jabs and S4 bump into one another. Sumail also able to put a little pressure onto DJ, but Fnatic kind of invading enemy territory here. Definitely want to secure both of these bounty runes. See if EG react or if they just let Fnatic get away with it.
Well, if EG can hold this rune, I mean, that would be sick for them because then they'd be getting 3 versus the 1, but you know that Fnatic want to play as deep as they can here with the Grievous Greed on the Alchemist.
Yeah. EG level 1 skirmishing is maybe not the best. Jab's going to continue to press forward. Fly will go at it, and they are just going to hand this one over. 2 bounties apiece.
Yeah, DJ's still going on this harass. Very unlikely to get any sort of a kill here, but still wastes a lot of the regen that Fly has.
No, could it go back the other way, though? The curses come out. S4 now putting in the damage, and similarly, they'll just let him go.
Yeah, and there's actually a couple more tangles on Fly, so maybe call that a bit of a... But in the end, it's just a very minor trade going back and forth. And as you would expect with Team Evil Geniuses, well, Arteezy's in the offlane. What they always seem to do on the Radiant side, they have the blocks from the Shaker to try and offset a little bit of the denies that come from the Enigma. Hoping that's going to give Arteezy a nice spot to lane here.
So it'll be a solo Alchemist against Necrophos in the mid lane, and down bottom it's starting as a tri-lane, but that'll quickly get broken up as DJ makes that rotation up top on the Earth Spirit. Actually goes rolling in onto Arteezy, but crits there with the Fissure. Kind of break things up a little bit. Arc Warden taking some harassment from that Orb of Venom. No first blood, not even close to it.
Yeah, they're just trying to give Arteezy a solid time up here. The Enigma, a pretty decent lane matchup, right? You don't have to worry too much about the Flux. You're always going to have your Eidolons, at least you'd hope so. There's no real AoE damage coming out from Arteezy, so it's hard for him to deal with these Eidolons. You can see they're just zoning him back off the wave right now. And relatively low HP hero there.
Another Fissure comes out with crit. Does connect onto Ice 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 as he continues to repel the likes of DJ. Down on this bottom lane. Fly and S4 going to be up against Jabs and MP. So the farming Brewmaster versus the farming Tiny. S4 Brewmaster. Pretty classic.
Yeah, and the MP Tiny as well, though. I think that's a hero that kind of fits his playstyle as of late, trying to be very aggressive and active and getting a lot of blows back here.
Yeah, Thunderclap on 2. This curse doing some work. Jabs might actually be the victim of this first blood. Fly needs one more, and he's not quite going to have it. Now the Nightmare comes out. Jabs will be able to make it back. Close call on both sides, even S4 on a sliver of HP there after that exchange.
Yeah, and the one thing we haven't really seen too much of, the mid. You heard the panel talking about it. Necro taking the edge in this matchup, and already starting off 12-2 versus the 8-0, but you're expecting over time that that's going to keep stacking up. Because Alk, you can't out-harass this guy.
Top, Ice 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 taking a lot of damage here. Arteezy still only level 2, so not a lot of kill power on this Arc Warden. Trying to abuse while DJ's out of the lane. Rolling Boulder forward. Now the stun. Crit's going to be in some trouble as the Malefice brings him low, and DJ finds a first blood.
Yeah, nice play there from DJ. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a roll or not, just get in the right spot, but S4 at the same time. The bottom lane will go down there to MP. So 2 for nil here.
Great start for Fnatic on these side lanes. And they need it, because as you just mentioned, the mid is certainly going in favor of Sumail, as one would expect. Quite curious to see how Abed builds the Alchemist. Not a popular hero in this meta, and not really a standard way to go about it. What do you think is going to be the ideal?
Oh, we're Radiance, baby. It's the only way to live life these days. Is Fly will finally get a kill on Jabs. Looks like he's just playing way too, very aggressively this entire time. So it's kind of destined to fall. But one of the advantages is going to be that whole concoction and all the cooldowns and the damage and the Blink Dagger. That's kind of this new class of Alchemist that's existed since the talent changes, and that's very valuable versus the Arc Warden. I see why it's going to be good. Plus the Radiant Mischance for him clone going to be very helpful with all the physical damage. But
okay,
we talked about how these the side lanes were going well, but Ice Ice is just starting to get some last hits now. He was actually stuck at 3 for a while there, so able to now catch back up to where Arteezy is.
Yeah, and those denies probably inflated from denying some of those Eidolons, I'd imagine. TZ 11 and 4 on the Arc Warden, so leveling out just a little bit. Still an advantage for Fnatic. Been eyes on this mid lane. Sumail just hit level 5.
Yeah, you're waiting for that level 6 moment here. I mean, he's got the level edge versus Abed here too, so that's going to drive Abed to the jungle. He'll just be Storm Spiriting up, you know, run away before you're level 6 when there's some sort of a threat happening.
Attempted fissure block from Crit, but Ice ends up on the other side of it, so he'll be just fine. Now DJ wrapping around the other way. We'll put some blows into Arteezy, but does not want to walk into those
it's just
spark
like
rates.
two of the absolute worst supports in lane. Earthshaker versus Earth Spirit, you know, these guys, they don't play for the laning stage.
They're one and done kind of guys in those early levels. Oh, down bottom. Avalanche onto S4, but follow-up not going to be there. This bottom lane has had a lot of damage traded back and forth.
Oh, they're rolling in mid on Sumail here too. But it's just enough for Abed to run. Only end up being a save play there. No concoction early on, no chance of aggression. He had the point too, so had he had the mana, he could have opted for it.
Back towards this bottom lane. Mango gets used, sleep onto S4, roll across the way. The battle for the bounty runes. The Dire Courier gets picked off. We'll see Fly get brought down. Nice toss from Tiny. Secures the kill there. Now S4 on the run. Running low on options. We'll have a couple of stick charges pretty soon. 60 HP. He is going to be able to make it back.
All this dual laning hurting his levels just a little bit.
Bounties will go 2 apiece, both Crit and DJ. Securing 2 for their team.
And Abed back here to a couple of stacks in the jungle. Made up for him here. So that'll get him up into the safety of level 6 versus the Scythe. I've rotated the supports here to the mid lane, hoping that, assuming that, yes, Alk might not come back, but they're going to send someone for this wave, probably DJ. At least that's what roamers tend to do. So they're hoping for just a free pick on an Earth Spirit here with a Fissure into Scythe.
I think it is a little scary for the side of Fnatic. The opportunity cost of sure your Alchemist is getting some farm with these stacks in the jungle. It's what he has to do, but you're letting Sumail free farm on this Necro. And there's going to be a window where dealing with him is not going to be fun. He's #1 on net worth by a huge margin right now. It's only 6 minutes in, but this is the ideal start for a Necro.
I think they have some issues, though, like in terms of a snowballing Necro this game, because although he might get really farmed, and there's exactly what we expected.
That Earth Spirit
DJ comes in to get the wave, he gets
absorbs the
Fissured.
roll, and easy Scythe kill. So further that net worth lead even more is now Bane's going to make the TP in.
Great foresight there from EG. Like, they saw this whole play coming for like a mile away, and it's easy for us to see this kind of stuff as casters because you have this whole vision thing, and you kind of get the feel of how the game's going, but when you're actually in a Dota match, it's much harder to gauge exactly how it's going for your team. But the reason why I think it's a little difficult for the Necro this game, even if he's snowballing really hard, is because he has 2 cores that can't really match his same pace. Like the Brewmaster, yes, you kind of want to fight early with split and everything, but you're then locked onto the split, right? You can't fight until the split's back every single time, so there's no other really great kill hero either. There's not a lot of like ranged bursts or anything. You can't just like smoke up and go find a kill with a Scythe or something, so I do think it's going to give a decent amount of time for the Alchemists, just simply because of how much the Arc Ward and the Brewmaster are going to be needed.
Definitely a delicate window for EG to execute there. They do finish off that tier 1 tower in the mid lane, though, so nice early objective there, and they give the last hit to Crit's Earthshaker, so he'll find some extra gold to get things started. Up top now, maybe some initiation onto Ice. This is a level 6 Enigma, so they need to be wary of Black Hole and possibly some TP rotations. There's going to be one. It's Tiny as Earth Spirit goes rolling through. Earthshaker in range of the tower. Gets off a totem. And Arteezy on the run will get tossed up in the air. And trying to TP out. It might actually work. He's made it.
Oh, that's got to be infuriating. Crit with the big save with the Fissure. Somehow can't get inside that bubble from DJ.
I could have sworn DJ was on the side of it, but I guess he was just a little step too short there. Oh, that's a heartbreak.
Whew, at least he had the instant tip. You know, DJ he can roll with the punches on that one. He rolls in.
Beacon of rolling. Yep, Crit trying to make it back to his shrine here. We'll have that cooldown available, but Avalanche catches him. It's going to be close. He will live through the burst damage. Now DJ pretty committed. Fly's going to make the rotation. Fissure connects on 3 heroes. DJ will go down first. Now MP and Jabs on the defensive with S4 in hot pursuit. Primal split 10 mana short. They will not be able to interrupt that TP, so only one.
Oh, but hey, it's Sumail. Hello.
Oh, let's make it 2. A double damage Necro with an easy Scythe. It'll be the end of MP.
And that is one thing, is that before this tome comes out, Sumail is just completely free in the mid lane. He's just been playing it this whole time. The supports can't really do much. There's not going to be any ulti from the Bane. I feel like that'd be your best option, where he just kind of runs in and starts ulting the Necro, and then you charge a concoction and everything.
Sure, yeah.
But just not there at the moment. At least Abed is surprisingly keeping up in level somewhat.
Yeah, I mean, his farm is fine.
They're guarding Sumail in the
get
mid
killed
lane
down
there.
bottom, but yeah, Bane, the double damage Necro is just too much.
Gotta love
Sumail
a
gets
support
another one.
that can Fissure from smoke. They were under a ward, smoked up there, and that's why he was playing so aggressively from Jabs. And punished by the long range of Fissure.
Did get a little pick-me-up down bottom. It was Ice 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 getting credit for that one. Helm of the Dominator going to be queued up as basically the first item for Enigma past the Soul Ring.
Yeah, I think that was the item that was being brought up too after that game as well. The whole idea of trying to get better auras going, Helm Greaves, so adjusting his item build accordingly. So, and the Helm's just super plays.
Yep. Alchemist indeed going for the Radiance, only 1,400 gold towards it, so still has a fair bit of farming to do.
Oh, but he got the Mug Golem, so this is the dream camp playing Alch. Oh, look at all that Greel Greaves. Turned into Bulldog Blackcast.
It's rubbed off on me.
Yeah.
Oh! The new form of play-by-play.
I'm into it.
I liked it.
It's
I
all
laughed.
stuff. Yeah, I cried.
Crit going to be able
Lots of
to
emotion.
make it back up top and fly once again down bottom, brought down by Ice Ice Ice. Bounty runes come out. EG get all 4 bounty runes, although up top, Crit will go down for it. So across the map, Fnatic find 2 kills. That last bounty does get picked up by RT.
You knew.
I knew.
You had it locked down. No problem. TP up from Ice Ice, though. There's 3 heroes closing in on him.
My question, though, Trent, who got the better of that trade? 4 bounties for EG. They don't have the Alchemist, but Fnatic gets 2 kills.
I mean, for now, it's still EG, right? It's as long as Arteezy's not dying, life's good. That's how I would be gauging this game right now.
Yeah,
and
fair
he's
enough.
just about to finish off the Necronomicon.
Just the beginning. Now Yule's Scepter also up on this Necrophos, who also finds his level 10.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Puts a lot of pressure on chaining together some of these spells, the concoction and stuff too. So you might be able to straight up dodge the concoction. And then that loses a lot of the ability. They're going to have to kill him at the moment. Black Hole is here. A couple of heroes still waiting for a split here from S4.
And this could be a moment. How deep do they want to go? On to Ice Ice Ice. They're very grouped up. Black Hole on 2. Fly manages to stay outside of it. Only level 5 on the Silencer. No kills quite yet, but now MP's rotated in. S4 gets off the split at the last second. EG still have their entire squad alive as they continue to commit. Reaper's Scythe does get mitigated by the Nightmare, but Ice 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 still in a lot of trouble. Will go down, and they're going to continue to pursue on to Jabs. Cyclone, they bring him down, and they should have the damage. It's a nice attempt from the Earth Spirit to keep Jabs alive, but they'll finish him off with the Echo Slam. S4 probably going to go down for this as he comes back with low HP. It's a deep dive from EG. He does have some stick charges here. We'll have another Fissure, TP in 5. Definitely difficult to survive, but so far so good. Siege Creep chasing him down.
Kick one, toss the other, keep the chase alive.
Magnetize used. The reset, but Crit, he's still on the run. There's no tier 1 mid. And
We got another toss. Oh, it's a catapult though and not the Earth Spirit.
yeah, he might be okay here. That little Siege Creep's cute, but it's not doing a hell of a lot.
And no options there with the Tread Swap either, it looks like, so MP can't get her.
Victory for EG, but all this trend is space for the Alchemist. 4K gold
and
now.
here's that fight again though. I can't, like, this was so close with the split. I thought he was dead for sure.
Yeah.
But once again, as you pointed out, yes, Fly doesn't have 6, but now there's Jab, so there's no follow-up grip there. Silence even comes out. Oh, it's so close.
DJ didn't even have to magnetize either. He's also
Look
locked
at that
level 5.
Death Pulse from Sumail, saving S4 so he can get that split off.
Beautiful.
He was down like 30 HP on the Brewmaster. And then, yes, a nice play, the Nightmare, but the end.
Buys him a little bit of time there. All right, still this Alchemist, he is now #1 on net worth, actually surpassed the Necro, even though EG have been taking objectives. Not going to be able to outfarm this Brevel Greed monster. 600 gold off that recipe.
And Ice Ice again returns to this bottom lane. He's killed Fly here a couple times, but it won't be him alone. Going to be bringing a couple of friends, and they're eyeing that level 11 Necrophos for sure. Bane still 5.5 here. 13 minutes in, you got to get these support levels when you don't get the home. And they're both being scouted under an Observer Ward here. So Sumail now able to play aggressively because he knows they've moved back. Trying to keep their attention drawn here and as far away from Arteezy as possible. Likewise for S4 in the mid.
Do manage to defend that tower, just barely out of deny range. Under the tier 1, Ice 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 caught by the Yule's Scepter of Sumail. Follow-up Fissure from Crit. A little scary to move into the fog though. Limited vision on the rest of Fnatic, so they won't commit for it.
They've got very defensive wards right now from Fnatic. You can see kind of like all across that line of the map. They're not really planning on going anywhere, right? They're just hoping to farm up inside their own spots of the jungle, try and hold their towers as long as possible, and kind of playing towards this Alchemist. EG just doing the same thing, right? Arteezy farming away himself on this Arc Warden with the Necronomicon and the Midas soon to be purchased.
Another tier 1 down. EG now smoke up off the back of that, move into enemy territory. Arcane Rune will spawn. Be a nice pickup for Sumail, but they're just going to bump right into Jabs. The level 6 Bane will meet an untimely death as the Scythe is deployed. Dominating spree is secured for Sumail.
I mean, they're not the best heroes, but they're making it work, right? Silencer and Earthshaker, it's kind of, they're just playing like any other support, just doing these like point-blank stuns, whatever. It's all working out with the Scythe, as long as they're fully grouped up. Maybe they don't have a 2-man hit squad because the heroes aren't quite right, but bring enough numbers and you can pretty much take anyone. Now, Ice comes in a little deep here. There was a Scythe. It'd be a little bit easier here for him, just delay for S4, but he's coming with his Blink Dagger, and Ice is just dead.
Yeah, nothing you can do. Of course, Black Hole available, but no teammates inbound, and there is a global silence, so best to just let that one go and find a better spot in the jungle. 2 farming tools picked up here. Arteezy's Midas, as well as Abed's Radiance.
Yeah, but finally MP has a game now with this Blink Dagger. Been waiting a while to get it going. Unfortunately, it's not quite in time to battle up for these runes. So again, that is 4 bounties. You can see the top of the screen there. 11 bounties equaling 3,500 gold for Eel Geniuses. Now, may I remind you folks, that is an alchemist on the enemy team. If you give up those bounty runes, it's so much worse. And they're just completely stifling this hero. Suddenly, Sumail overtakes the alchemist in this game. It's not looking too hot right now for Fnatic, but again, he just got the Radiance, so there is still time. They're trying to make a play with the Blink Dagger, with the Earth Spirit, to be an easy pick, but it is just Fly.
They'll catch Fly, I think.
They got him.
Kind of can okay with that. Fly's the one hero that doesn't really lose a hell of a lot from getting picked off like that. S4 also grabbed his Blink Dagger, though. We'll see Sumail moving into the mid lane with his Yules. Not going to be able to find a kill there, but Jazz in a bit of an awkward position behind the trees. S4 hits him with a Thunderclap. Nightmare TP. There is no Reaper's Sight, still on cooldown for 15.
And he just used that Tiny too. Still able to blink away because he had 1 raindrop charge left. So a little frustrating, I'm sure, there for Sumail.
Yeah, missed opportunity, but not the end of the world. Up top,
oh my goodness.
Pressure onto this tier
Dota
2.
plus 84% at this point. I mean, I don't know if I go that high. I agree. I think they're winning when an Alchemist is down 4K, but still.
See up top, Abed makes the rotation. EG with a lot of reinforcements nearby. Split, Echo Slam available. S4 jumps in, and Abed in a little bit more forward than he'd like. Still, S4 gets off the split, though, as Global Silence gets used. They want this kill on Abed. Crit just walks in, gets off the dunk, but Jabs is right there with the Fiend's Grip. Crit will actually be the first one to go down. Now MP joining the party. Sumail does have the Reaper's Sight, but Black Hole connects on the EG squad.
Jabs.
This was the moment that Fnatic's been waiting for. They bring down 2, trying to finish off S4 as he goes back into Panda form. On the backside, they bring down Fly as well. Arteezy, the lone survivor, because he wasn't there.
Dota plus, wait, what do you got now, man? I can't expect Jabs to somehow find a Nightmare save on the Echo Slam coming through there. By all rights, he was dead. There is no way Abed should have made it out of that first part of the engagement. Of course, he eventually does go down, but look at the damage he's able to output afterwards. So much of what Fnatic were bringing to the table provided by him.
Wow. Incredible fight for Fnatic.
Even to start it off too, right? DJ had that like instantaneous silence to first save him, and that was after a self-stun on the poor Alchemist. Like, I thought Abed was completely finished after the global silence into that.
Yep. All right. Well, now 70%, so some progress.
They doubled their odds.
Dota plus, brutal.
Well, as the panelists say, you can't predict bad, but you also can't predict just fantastic plays. I wouldn't even hate too hard on what EG did there. That was just a ridiculous prep there from Fnatic predicting how that was going to go.
Now, however, following that, Sumail has just right-clicked a Blink Dagger. So he says, you know what, we get in that situation again. I want to have a laser to bring down this big old ogre with a Greeble on his back. That burst damage will definitely make that a little bit easier, though the Manta style, it's on the way. Still has an ultimate orb to pick up, but this train is rolling.
Yeah, the Manta's going to be huge.
Also a great Black Hole from Ice there. And speak of the devil up top, he's going to try to TP out. No way to interrupt it, and he'll be just fine. But a lot of patience from Ice to get off that hole there.
Yep. Crit now has the Blink Dagger too. So your EG right now probably looking to go use this Scythe and the split in another 15 seconds. I mean, that top tier 2 is still very tempting. It's kind of the best part of the map to take over right now. Try and force the Fnatic to play on the bottom half of the map near their own triangle on the dire side by the shrine, as well as into your own tier 2 bots so that you can try and control up the Roche pit. Something that they can do very quickly. Honestly, from both sides, it's going to be pretty fast. I would say give the edge to EG a little bit more simply because of the damage of the Arc Warden. But the minus armor from the Alch does help.
Yeah, both teams with pretty good skirmishing around the pit as well. Echo Slam, Bruce Split, Global, pretty good. And obviously, your Black Hole is king of the castle when it comes to fighting in close quarters like that. So would definitely expect Roshan to become a focal point of this mid-game. Mechanism also out on the Ice Enigma.
He's getting there. Greaves coming.
Slow and steady. Certainly a necessity against the silencer, though.
See if S4 even gets answered here. They have a helmed catapult from Ice. Just going to pull the wave away, in fact.
I like this.
So, very nice. A little bit cheeky. We got Radiant Creeps running around the jungle at the moment. This can now be a pretty big wave. Where are you guys going? Some Wraith King skeletons up in here.
Yeah, it looks like they'll just rotate past the tower, and they're heading to the tier 3s, so let's see how this one works out.
I don't think that they're going to have a very good battle. You know, I don't like their odds here. Dota Plus could probably... Oh!
And
no,
okay, they're going to run past the tier 3s.
They got nothing.
And now we're going to run into the tier 4s. We're going right for the throne. Oh, wait, that's also immune. And we'll
they're
just
very brave.
We'll suicide into the enemy base.
I like the thought, though. Go for the throne. Yeah, all or nothing, baby.
That was like the most value use of Helm of the Dominator I think I've ever seen.
And now Ice himself will make the trip up top. But there's plenty of heroes here, and S4 just claps right in there. Gets some Eidolons, trying to force some spells out.
Falls a little bit short. Ice still solo up here.
Yeah, definitely cannot commit any sort of black hole there.
Meanwhile, mid, that's just a Tempest double as Fnatic start to group up around this tier 1 tower.
They've been hunting here for so long. EG are dodging it very well at the moment.
Or makes the rotation. Will bump into jabs here. Blink forward, thunderclap, but Nightmare puts him to sleep. Now the Fiend's Grip.
Can DJ get here in time, though? He's global silenced. That means not only canceling the grip, but also making sure DJ doesn't have the follow-up. So he's forced to TP up in the top lane. And they might get the chase down onto Sumail. There's no Blink Dagger yet. He's got the gold on Obed, but hasn't had a chance to purchase it.
Now Parcheesi's already TP'd out. Nice use of the Yule's Scepter for Sumail. Friends nowhere to be found, though.
So much control.
Necro on the run. Unstoppable streak now for MP. Jabs with the tip.
Yeah, kind of, I don't know, quietly getting to 8-1 and 0. Like, he picked off Fly a couple times, of course, but MP looking a little bit like Sumail last night in terms of the Tiny, but this time he's getting more of those kills between like the 15 to 20 minute mark. It seemed like everyone itemized versus Sumail when he was playing the hero, where he was a little bit too tanky to burst down, but he's still able to pick off a couple of these supports. Not a lot of stats being purchased up there.
Yeah, even though he's 8-1 and 0, his net worth isn't really out of control. I mean, I definitely wouldn't say that this Tiny is snowballing.
Yeah, I think a lot of that too, just because he is kind of roaming around the map. Oh, they have to toss jabs on DJ to break him out of the trees. Great teamwork.
Well, you know, sometimes you got to help your pals out. Smoke rotation though. Fnatic looking for something. Not going to be Roshan.
Pinging exactly where they're walking up though. And puts a Spark Wraith, which does pop in the smoke, so he's going to know, but it's too late.
Arteezy walks right into him. He was the first victim of this engagement. MP now in the front lines as they jump onto Sumail. It's Abed with the stun, and they've got the damage. 2 big cores on EG brought down with a double kill for the Tiny. Fnatic hungry for more. Ice has the black hole. Won't need it to find this kill on Fly, and that makes it a 3-0.
Yeah, Crit just sitting back. They can't find any sort of a dunk that's going to turn things around there. And Arteezy with the big brain thinks it out. He's like, we should go camp here. Like, let's go put ourselves on that high ground. This is where they're coming, but he was just a little bit too late. Fnatic moving at a faster pace than Evil Geniuses expect. And they're going to take that pace right into the Roach Pit.
Yeah, absolutely the right call. Global Silence on cooldown for another 10, so it'll be up as soon as the Silencer spawns. EG do have all their other abilities available. Roche still only at about 50% HP. I think if EG beeline it to the pit, there is a chance that they can defend this, and yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Crit. They're so clumped.
S4 jumps in, thinking about the split, but cancels it immediately as he sees Fnatic has already head back to friendly territory. Well, a good effort from Fnatic. I think their head's in the right place, but you know, even better call to realize they didn't have the damage and get out of there before EG turned that one around.
Yep, just relax a little bit there. They left some great vision behind too, which has not been dewarded here despite the double sentries available on the cliff. So might need a courier or something coming over to take care of that Fly.
Arc Warden now with his Mjolnir picked up. Also his level 15, Boots of Travel going to be coming out next. See Arteezy move all over that map. That Helm of the Dominator still coming in handy, scouting out Roshan. Struggling to bring it down, but Crit will finally give him the totem. Find a little bit extra gold for himself.
Very sneaky ward there too on the little ramp. Scouting them all coming in here. And they don't have any sentries left on Fly, probably some on the courier. Yeah, 2 coming on courier. And they're going to try and take over the vision game around this Roche pit. Fly will still find. Not sneaky enough.
They get that tier 2 in the bottom lane as Alchemist makes the rotation back, working on his Octarine core. EG with a lot of good ward coverage around this part of the map. Obviously, prioritizing control around the Roche pit. S4 moves in.
I'll take the softened up Roche here. So this is what they did last time too with the Arc Warden. They just used that bubble and
you look at the EG vision, and maybe this seems risky at face value, but they've got so many eyeballs down that it's actually not that risky. They know Fnatic aren't nearby, and they'll just finish it off.
Like, it's just ridiculous when the Mjolnir comes out on the Arc Warden.
Yeah.
No hope.
Well, that's an Aegis now for Arteezy.
I know Crit was a little unhappy with his gameplay then on the Skywrath Mage. Felt like he wasn't contributing enough and didn't quite find those moments on the hero. And it seems a little bit this game kind of struggling as well. He hasn't really had those key Earthshaker moments. I think he had really good rotations early on with Sumail, but he can't quite get those big dunks despite all this vision they've had here. So probably feeling the pressure right now. He's the one who's supposed to try and like close out one of these heroes before the fight even begins.
No doubt. MP sort of posturing like he wanted to go for a pick, maybe onto that silencer again, but not going to find the opening. Instead, heads down bottom for this Tempest double. Of course, that is Shadow Blade up on Tiny now. The Echo Saber just about to be secured.
Puts the burden on MP to try and find Arteezy if he's in the back lines there. See if he can just get an initiation onto him, and honestly probably try and toss him somewhere towards his own team just for the finish, but just the scouting possibilities of the Shadow Blade, of course, so important. So many sentries down on the map, and they're going to go for a bit of an awkward smoke here from EG. They're moving eastward and going to go like kind of through the river up towards these 25-minute bounty runes. So usually it's like right on the bounty rune timing, and they really want the Tiny down here. They don't want the Earth Spirit.
Oh, DJ.
It's not the hero they want, honestly.
Will be an easy one for EG. And they'll actually just deploy the Reaper's Scythe and give him a couple extra seconds on that respawn timer. Tempest double heads back to mid to shove out these waves.
MP gonna leave it too. He's not just gonna hop in there and go for a combo on it or something.
Still a very tight game though, Trent. I think Arteezy's done a really good job farming on this Arc Warden. He's only 3k net worth behind the Alchemist, and this Alc has had pretty much pick of the litter in terms of farm priority. He's just been running around the jungle, still farming very well himself, but still unable to really pull away from the pack and have that true Alchemist presence that we've all come to know and enjoy. Nice 9 mid from Ice 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 on the tier 2 tower, but only one outer tower remains for Fnatic, and EG are the ones putting on the pressure and taking control of this map right now.
Yeah, the old Greevil's Greed coming into effect despite having the same last hits. You've got like a 3k edge on the Alchemist. Now mind you, that could be a lot worse if they've been getting all the bounty runes this game.
Should be a lot worse, really.
But
Tier 2, looks like this one will go unchecked as well. Earth Spirit in the grave. Fnatic not eager to take a fight into an Aegis. That'll be it. Only tier 3s remain for Fnatic.
One of the successful things for EG this tournament is it always feels like that they're getting an objective even with just the smallest pickoff. Like, they still know that this Earth Spirit doesn't want to buy back, and they're able to kind of focus, okay, what's like the easiest objective we can get that's just really not worth the effort from the enemy team, or the risk, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially with how much pressure's been coming to that bottom lane this whole game.
Fnatic doing a good job, though, dodging the engagements, kind of taking fights on their own terms behind the Tiny or the Bane if they can catch an initiation. Not giving EG these initiations that they're looking for.
Yeah, you can see MP getting pinged out here. They're going to start putting some vision down, I think in those areas where the Tiny likes, but kind of where Arteezy is right now. Kind of get a ward down in there. You get a ward up around here. Because this is where these Tiny heroes play. They just constantly try and cut the waves and then pop back into the trees, maybe go in the jungle for a little bit, pop back out, and never really expecting to vision those areas. We often see teams go for that against them.
Got a minute 20 left on the Aegis for EG. Only got some pretty good value out of it taking those objectives, though. Seems unlikely they'll be able to actually take a big team fight with
Fly
it.
really wants to smoke right now. He's just pinging the shrine over and over. Or he's saying he thinks that's where their smoke is coming to. He's put down some wards, some sentries. They're all kind of lurking around there.
I don't think they have a smoke right now. Not in their inventories, though. There's a double damage rune on S4.
They're just kind of predicting where the movements will be. Yeah, they're very concerned right now. They're just like, what is happening? They're scanning down on the bottom right of the map. And Arteezy will just keep continuing to control that top lane with Clone.
Octarine core is up. It's only a 1,500 net worth lead now for this Alchemist. The gap is slowly closing.
Yeah, it's also moved over to the side of EG, which
yeah.
Honestly, when it's that small of a lead, it's kind of good for Fnatic. Like, if you go into a fight right now and you're down net worth, that changes the gold formula so that you're going to get more gold out of this fight, even though it's like kind of an even game.
Very true.
Depending on the hero they pick off, that can make a massive difference.
Look at this, Arc Warden. Butterfly secured now. Not an item we've seen
S4's playing
prioritized this
very cocky right now.
And Fiend's Grip even going to be used for that. They will bring him down. So just a quick pick on S4.
MP, man. God like this game. 11-1-0.
What do you think about this Butterfly, though? Pretty interesting choice for Arteezy.
I think the only other choice at the moment would be maybe Blink Dagger is pretty good on this hero in certain engagements. But I think in this game, Butterfly looks pretty good.
Ooh, they almost catch
Constant
MP.
fire.
They do grab him with a Dust. Crit there with the Fissure to block him out. And I think this Tiny is going to be done for. Those try to turn and bring down Crit, but they don't have the damage. Instead, Reaper's Scythe is deployed, and Sumail will secure about 700 gold for himself as he ends that 9x godlike streak.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay. Pick for pick there. Brew to Tiny.
Favoring EG ever so slightly.
Again, right before the bounty rune. So they go 3 for 1. You can see the top of your screen there. 79.50 for EG, 44.30 for Fnatic. Again, not what you want on the Alpha team. That is not how it goes. You guys don't know. He's got this thing, little multiplier there. Bounty rune 3.5. That's a nice multiplier.
Sure is.
One would hope that your bounty rune goal would be up 3.5 times higher than the enemy.
Level 20 talent on the horizon for Abed. Trent, you seem to be the alchemist master between the two of us. What are you expecting him to take?
Concoction. Concoction
100%?
for sure. Come on, let's go. Kill this this Arc Warden.
All right.
Blow him up.
So is that
talent
like
is just dumb.
Is that the timing they want to fight around here? Double the damage on the concoction?
It's definitely what you want before you go into an engagement. There's no question about that. He's just lurking the tree line to get it.
There it is. No hesitation.
No, that's
not even a second thought for the cleave.
No, there's no thought about the cleave. This thing is just insane. Now, that means your minimum damage is 560.
That's pretty absurd.
Yeah, it does not scale with the duration or anything like that. It's the way to play this hero.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm seeing the merits.
You can see how that's kind of good, right? You know, maybe
made
going
a
to max
believer out of
damage,
me.
800, pretty high.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of damage, and
Yeah.
did I mention it's physical, which has its ups and downs, of course, depending on the hero. Cheesy with his 18 armor, give himself about 47% physical resistance. As Cheesy will tip Abed for killing his.
Man, really taking a passive turn in the last couple of minutes outside of a couple of one-off picks. Both teams being very cautious about this next engagement. Roshan, we'll see what that timer looks like in about 40 seconds. It'll be Rosh number 2.
Why just wants level 15 so bad. He's spending all his gold on sentries and still doesn't have the GPM talent. The downside is the silencer compared to some of these other supports.
Tower is under attack.
A little bit longer to get it. Luckily, our crit's kind of already maxed out in terms of he's got his blink, his force up, and he's level, well, he's past level 12. 12's really all you need just to make sure your Echo Slam is actually good.
Fnatic now with a smoke outside of their base. See on the map, there's a line drawn to go down the mid. Still a tier 1 tower standing there for EG, giving them a little more protection in these kind of scenarios.
Scan will hit. Find some heroes.
Limited angles for Fnatic.
Who are we sending in first?
Though. No Blink Dagger on Enigma, so certainly not Ice Ice Ice. It's going to be MP as he jumps in and catches Fly. Sumail able to survive for the rest of the burst, but Fnatic have a lot of reinforcements. There's the Yule Scepter, mitigates the damage from the concoction. S4 now put into the Nightmare as Abed reinitiates, jumps in onto the Arc Warden. Lotus Orb helps make some space for Arteezy, but BKB, another concoction from Abed. Crit blocks him out though as MP jumps in. They will catch the Arc Warden. Buyback already been used by Fly. Looks like a good fight for Fnatic. Now the Fiend's Grip onto Sumail. Global finally used. Tiny getting stunned up, getting very low, but Abed's still very healthy. He's got another concoction coming. Reaper's Scythe will finish off MP, but there's the Black Hole. Connects on Sumail and finds the kill. It's a 1 for 4 plus the buyback. Could even be a dieback for Fly as they dive into the tier 3 and they'll find it. 4 down, no buybacks available for EG.
Man, love the way Fnatic played that fight, just kind of slowly picking hero after hero off. They didn't get anything done really with the primal split, and yes, they do manage to pick off MP, and he's been worth a lot of gold, but he got a fair chunk himself, and he also output more damage than the Alchemist in that fight before he went down, so
there's the
A-okay with him.
There's going to be a lot of damage here. There is no outer tower in the bottom lane, still a tier 2 standing up top for EG, but without buybacks, Fnatic can be able to do a lot of damage here.
Yeah, this Helm is putting in work right now. Everyone's attack speed going through the roof, going into these buildings right now. Guardian Greaves too, helping people recover after the engagement. Looks like they didn't even take a fight at all.
And that Alk illusion to pull the creep wave to the side. The melee barracks secured. And they will just back up. So Fnatic not going to linger around. Happy to get the melee barracks. 35 minutes. Let's take a look here.
Yeah, perfect target first off, right? Get the silencer. That's nice. Yes, he's going to buy back, but Sumail tried to blink in to go for the save. He gets instantly stunned up. Silence fight gets kind of awkward, but they're all staying close to one another, keeping things grouped. At the same time, the real gaming CRT is doing a little bit of rat, but it's just a Tempest double, so it's okay.
Yeah, but he took Abed down pretty low. You can see the power of the Arc Warden when he's the one on the offensive, but it's all about getting in his face.
But yeah, and that was the problem in this fight, right? Is that they were all up in Arteezy's face. He couldn't just sit back in the back of that fight, use his Tempest double, and keep throwing in all this damage. And if that's not there for EG, they're simply not going to win these engagements.
Yeah. Decent dunk attempt, but they just didn't. Without the Arc Warden, EG simply don't have the damage.
Yeah.
I think that's really what this comes down to. Well, you can see in the real game, Roshan now taken by EG. DJ kind of wanders his way in, and yeah, Arteezy finds a kill there, and that'll be another Aegis secured.
Well, at least Abed's going to find the bounties this time. Got that going for them.
That's something. I mean, even after all that, Fnatic only with a 1K net worth lead, 1K experience. They have not run away with this game quite yet. The Alchemist now looking for his Shiva's guard, starting to run low on inventory slots, and Arteezy, he's still got the damage. That's now a Daedalus for the Arc Warden.
Bounties really starting to close that gap, though. It's like 2K more from bounties they just got because this Alchemist finally able to find a couple.
Objective gaming here for EG.
Yeah, it's true. The Arc Warden with the Aegis, though, will make a massive difference. Fight.
Important to remember as well, 10-second BKB used by the Alchemist in that last fight, so still very healthy, but one of the hardest fights EG will probably have to take in this game with 10 seconds of immune Alchemist action.
Yeah, they really couldn't find anything on him in that one. He's just like running around with Concoction, even though the global's there, it doesn't matter because he uses BKB.
Yeah. It was a nice block out from Crit, though, in that fight with the Fissure, even though it didn't get the stun on the Alchemist, still stopped him from pursuing. Scan, used by EG, does identify the location of Tiny.
I like a lot of the ideas behind this Alchemist versus the Arc Warden. Just someone who can kind of keep the pressure going the same way with these Mantas spread across the map, keeping the lane pressure even versus this Tempest double, or at least trying to. I mean, even now it feels like they're kind of losing it, but that's because they're abusing this Aegis playing so aggressively. But on top of that, again, the Blink Dagger. Like, this is that big time in the game where it feels like you should be able to get on top of this Arc Warden and kill him. Might force Arteezy into a BKB next. Curious what he thinks to replace the Midas here. If his Aegis runs out.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
KB now joining the party. Lots of damage there. Yeah, the Alchemist does seem pretty well suited for it. He can shove out lanes and also just match up and farm against the Arc Warden. We were even just yesterday talking about, like, well, we've got Yuara on the Priestess of the Moon getting some farm, but they're letting Arteezy get all that space as well, and that's a pretty big mismatch. We saw how big that disparity became. Here, much more even. The two big boys far and large at the top of the net worth chart. Pretty big drop off after that. What's Sumail working on next? That'll be hard to Tarrasque for the Necro.
Yeah, I've seen him just in the front line these engagements too. He's still lacking, what's he got? He's got double Dispel now with the Lotus and the Eul's. Okay, that's definitely a good way to try and deal with the Spirit Vessel.
Mm-hmm. And also hanging on to the cheese, at least for now. Very tense game here. I feel like both teams have been grouped up a lot more than usual, especially given how few big team fights we've actually seen.
Lower bracket.
That's
one
true.
series to send you to the arena. Get out of the hotel room, stretch your legs a little bit.
Get in front of the live audience of 10,000 people, you know.
That makes it easier, I think, right?
Certainly some upsides. Easier if you're winning, at least. Well, EG, tired of playing defensively. They are going to posture like they want this tier 3 in the bottom lane.
How about this positioning here from
no glyph.
Spot of Fnatic, though. Look where they are. They're going to spot this courier coming through. Oh, that courier is actually going the long way around. It feels something coming.
Oh, the courier is going to be all right. They finish off that tier 3 tower. This is a good movement from Fnatic, but it's taken a while.
It's a little slow.
And EG might be able to get barracks off this, even if they win a fight. Here's the initiation, though. S4 gets off the split straight away. They are going to try to bring down Fly, and they get it before he can global. No buyback there. Sumail, isolated, but still alive. It's a clumsy fight for Fnatic. They'll lose DJ. He buys back now. BKB already been used by Abed, but having trouble sticking on a target. Sumail able to blink back defensively as on the other side, Jabs gets dove, and now the Enigma gets brought down. S4 doing so much work in the back line. Even if he goes down here, you could feel his impact in this fight and has forced 2 buybacks out of Fnatic. They do hold on to the barracks, but EG take the fight.
He just made so much space in that engagement, it was ridiculous. S4 just somehow getting back there. That fight was, by all rights, supposed to be a disaster for Evil Geniuses. Of course, Fly. This global silence, you know, this is the one hero you really need buyback on, but it was still on cooldown because of that last fight where he was eliminated first. So created a good opportunity there for Fnatic, but they will end up losing their tier 3, and then
we can see it go on to Abed. He does not have a BKB. Dunk to start things off. They've got the Reaper's Scythe, and it's the Alchemist down. Now MP in some trouble, stopped by the Fissure. Crit's going to set this one up for his team, and no, he does pay with his own body. MP will get finished off. Fnatic. Ooh, DJ will make it back, but brutal.
I mean, still on the hunt. That was a little bit close there. The Blink trying to cancel a roll, but oh, I guess there's a replay now too. Start of that fight. Yeah, Fly just spotted instantly in DJ. Look at that 3-man rock too from DJ. This fight, it's kind of surprising that it went so well for EG the way that it did. And again, we can really just give all of that credit to S4, and I think that's a fair thing to do. Look at him just zoning them back into the base.
Completely repels the Enigma, and then the BKB to Abed. This is 9-second BKB, but he can't even stick on anyone.
Look at him go. He's still nice, getting kills.
Getting back into the real game here. Barracks exposed. This Alchemist does not want to buy back. If he dies again after that, he'll be in the grave for so long.
The black hole.
Arteezy in a lot of trouble. Ice ready to line it up, but they don't even need it. Now the Fiend's Grip onto Sumail. He's going to try to make it back. The black hole catches only one, although Sumail walks back into the event horizon. Not ideal, but there's the silence, the blink back, and the buyback now from Arteezy. DJ locked inside of the trees will be able to roll down to the low ground. Not sure who's taking the victory here. Now the buyback forced by the Alchemist.
Sending him back, trying to get some damage onto these buildings. Tempest Double still there, Sumail as well.
Economic damage done to both sides, but Fnatic feeling like they're on the back foot now. Sumail blinks forward, finishes off Ice. And now this could be a dieback for Abed. He gets low, knocked backwards, but DJ goes down next. Now MP running low as Arteezy is laying in a lot of damage. He falls, 4 down, no buybacks. EG might have actually just closed out this game.
They just went for the jugular in a rather risky moment there. But they know, they've realized that all these buybacks they've been spent at this point. And no one else is coming back from Fnatic. It is Abed against the world.
And that's it. They're going to go all in, and the GG's called. Fnatic know they can't stop this push. And after a very back-and-forth mid-game, EG able to win yet again with the shut down the Alchemist.
They play so well around this hero. This hero is just like pure raw damage for the most part. Yeah, he's got a little bit